Ellie Price is at the scene of the accident for us now. Ellie.
Yes, the death of 13-year-old Sophie Howard has come as a shock to the local community here at Yaxley in Cambridgeshire. And of course it's all the more tragic because Sophie should have been at school yesterday, but because her teachers were on strike, the school was closed for health and safety reasons. Now, the accident happened when a branch fell 50 feet from this tree onto Sophie as she sat below it on a bench talking to friends. 2 local doctors rushed over to try and save her, but unfortunately Sophie died on her way to Peterborough Hospital. Now, I've been speaking to local people. They say this ground is very popular and very busy with the locals. They say they're devastated.
Well, Ellie Price has spent the day talking to commuters in Essex and joins us now from Manningtree railway station. Ellie, what's everyone been saying?
Well, it's actually home time now for the commuters coming back here to Manningtree, but I did catch up with them earlier. 1,300 people use this station every day to make the 1-hour journey to and from London. And it's those people who will be particularly affected by today's price hikes because they apply mainly to season tickets. Now, people here buy season tickets. An annual season ticket will cost £5,000. That's going to go up to £5,400. And at a time when wages aren't rising at the same level, it's a sizable chunk out of people's budgets simply getting to and from work.
It's thought the stash of drugs has a street value of up to £10 million, making it the biggest in Suffolk. It was discovered in business premises at Highbury Road in Brandon, which is where Ellie Price is now. Good evening, Ellie. What more can you tell us this evening?
Well, it may look very quiet here, but the building behind me has been the centre of a major police investigation all day. Now, as you say, this is Suffolk Police's biggest ever drugs haul. They've seized Class A drugs with a street value of more than £10 million. Now, this investigation has been going on all day. Suffolk Police have been working closely with the Borders Agency. Now, I can tell you 2 56-year-old men have been arrested, one from London and one from Thetford. Now, they're being held on suspicion of importation of cocaine and possession of controlled drugs with intent to supply. They're being questioned at Bury St Edmunds police station.
So, Ellie, what's likely to happen tonight?
Well, as I say, it's very quiet here, very few police cars, no police tape or anything like that. We have seen police officers coming and going, and earlier we saw a low loader arrive. It came and took cars from the backyard there, and they were taken away, driven off. The police's work is far from over here. We suspect it will go on late into the evening.
First, though, to Chelmsford, where Ellie Price is at the V Festival. Ellie.
Yes, I am. It feels like rush hour with all these new arrivals tonight. But take a look at the number of people who are already here. Now, I spoke to one organiser earlier who said he expected 40,000 people to come here tonight alone. They're all here to see the likes of Eminem, the Arctic Monkeys and Rhiannon. But they're not on until tomorrow afternoon. These guys are just here to get a decent tent pitch and soak up the festival mood. Nick and the team are very realistic about his chances in this race, but it's important to remember this is only the second time he's even been in the car.
The more experience he gets, the better he'll get, and it's obviously a steep learning curve for him. But he's finished both races this weekend. I didn't even finish my first 2 races when I started, so
you'll be taking advice from him too.
I don't know about that. I'll always be his older brother.
And the hair is a different colour. I just did a film in Paris, so I don't know how long I will be brunette, but I'm brunette for the moment.
But you'll be able to answer the age-old question, do blondes have more fun?
Darling, I've been blonde, red, brunette, short, long, and if you want fun, you can find it.
And she found it on stage in Essex. Ellie Price, Anglia News, Chelmsford.
Wow. Ellie Price is at the UEA for us right now. Ellie, a few weeks ago it was Kylie, tonight it's Chris Martin. You really know how to mix it with the stars, don't you?
I do, and I have had quite a good run of showbiz stories in the last few weeks. Wow, can you hear the crowds behind me? They're amazing. I would like to point out Coldplay are in there in the warm, and I'm out here with this horrible lot. Now, the reason I don't like them very much is because they're part of a select few who were able to get tickets to this gig. But who would begrudge them? Coldplay regularly sell out stadiums and arenas worldwide. This venue holds just 1,500 people. But everything's not lost, and Coldplay did turn up to Norwich early this morning, so I was able to get a sneaky peek.
Let's have a look at it. Oh, look at that. What a lovely pair. Fantastic. I'm showing...
Isn't he lovely?
Yeah, he was looking a bit frightened, I have to say, though, poor chap. I'm sure you let him go at some stage. Thank you very much, Ellie. Interesting stuff there. Look at him.
Brilliant. It looks like she's just dragged
Got
off the
eyes.
street.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have to bring Ellie back down to earth tomorrow with a nice story about a broken drain or something, aren't we?
She deserves that, definitely. The residents at Dale Farm have until Wednesday to leave voluntarily. After that, they could be forcibly evicted at any time. And while knocking on the Prime Minister's door is unlikely to stop or even stall that, they say they will fight on and defy the order to leave. Ellie Price, Anglia News, Westminster. Back in January, Grace nearly died. She contracted meningitis and was in a critical condition for weeks. She pulled through but had to have both her legs amputated below the knee and lost all her fingers.
I think at first it was if she just keep her hair, just keep her alive, and losing limbs we can deal with. But then when it got to that stage, it was real then, and that was really happening, weren't it?
But just 6 months on, and little Grace has already adapted well.
We find ourselves wanting to be there all the while, make sure she doesn't hear anything negative from anyone else, any other children, that sort of thing. And then the next thing, she'll come up to you and wave her little hands at you, go, look, no pinkies. Well, she does, she just carries us all for it.
Yeah, she does.
Of course, Vicky and Brian are worried about how Grace's disability will affect her future. But remember our reporter Helen Smith? Meningitis changed her life, but she hasn't let it ruin it. Today she invited the family to her house to show them how it's been adapted for her needs.
Hello. Hi. How are you? Come in. Nice to meet you.
It was nice to see, in particular, the cars, so to know that she will be able to drive and all those sort of things. And you know, with the cooker and the low level, because Grace loves to cook as well. It's just nice to know that there ain't going to be nothing to hold her back in the future.
John, when I was told I had to get up at 4:45 this morning to come and see you, I have to say I wasn't that happy. But this is well worth it, isn't it? This is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, early morning's the best time really for the stags, and where you can hear them roaring. And when they come round and strut their stuff and show everybody who's boss, basically. But yeah, the light is fantastic this time of the morning. Particularly, we've got clear blue sky this morning. Perfect. They're out to prove who's best, you see, so, and shout about it.
This is nature at its best.
Yep, and it's free.
And sounds loud, but there is a reason for it. This is the annual deer rutting season, where stags prove their dominance over other males, and most importantly, mate with the females or hinds. It's when you're most likely to see a stag. For the rest of the year, they roam alone and stay more hidden than the hinds. Winter can be quite a tough place for a deer, can't it?
Yeah, I mean, not so bad here. I mean, up in the Highlands, yeah, everything's a lot sparser, but here everything's quite, rich for them, and this is why they're so big. They're much bigger than the ones in the Highlands.
But even here, the rut takes its toll. The stags hardly eat and lose up to a third of their body weight. The rutting season goes on from now until the beginning of November, and although it's lovely and warm this morning, it's actually the frost that really gets the testosterone flowing. But there's plenty of time for that. Ellie Price, Anglia News, Minsmere in Suffolk.